It's great to welcome Cassidy Taylor once again to the podcast. She currently resides in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, close enough. I'm in Milton, which is like GTA.
I see. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe last time we talked, you said you were based in Halliburton. So, did you move since the last time we spoke?
I think I probably had just moved to Milton.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. Yeah, because I think I was still in this room, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, I'm last year.
Anyways, we're here to discuss her latest single. It's titled Evergreen and is a Christmas jingle, and it's a wonderful song. So, Cassidy, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So, how have you been this winter time?
Good. Yeah. It's been really busy, but in a good way, you know? I don't feel burnt out from, yeah, it's been great. How about you?
I've been busy, like you said, but not
Mm,
yeah, not performing music and stuff, but studying. I had this like
right.
tremendously busy day yesterday because I had like two exams and one presentation and a class in Hungarian language. So I was like up from what 9 a.m. to roughly 9 p.m. So
Oh,
it was,
wow.
it was one of those like rare, really rough days for me. And
Yeah.
yeah, I have some projects I need to accomplish during Christmas time. So but they keep me busy, and I don't plan on participating on too much of the Christmas festivities anyways. So that's good for me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So tell me about your upcoming show with the duo Dandelion Highway. So just to mention also that I'll be meeting them tomorrow, the day after we record this. So yeah, tell me about that show.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. Yeah, I met Dandelion Highway at a previous show. um, I think almost a year ago as well. Excuse me. And yeah, they're just like the nicest people ever. They have a new single out as well, We Are Gold, which is awesome, and it's gonna be their single release party. Yeah, they asked me to open for them, and I was glad to. I'm gonna be playing Evergreen at this show for the first time, which is exciting. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, so you're going to debut Evergreen live.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me again about the date. Would it be the day after we record this, like the 14th December?
Yeah, so the show is on the 17th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 17th.
So I believe it's
So
going
next
to be
Tuesday.
okay. Yeah, Tuesday.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, have a wonderful show, and of course, stay warm.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, gigs are always a bit of a gamble in the winter, for sure. You don't know if you're driving in a snowstorm or if it's going to be fine, so we'll see.
Yeah. So how far are you from the Toronto city center?
I'm about an hour drive.
Okay. Well, and does it depend on the weather or the conditions of the road at all?
Yeah, 100%. The traffic mostly.
I see.
Yeah, you never know what condition the 401 or, the Gardner Expressway is going to be. So yeah, like when it's funny because it takes me about an hour to get to a gig, but then on the way back it takes me about 20 minutes to get home because the traffic's just not there. So yeah, it's mostly traffic, which sucks, but
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, I remember spending New Year's Eve 2019, so the December 31st, 2019 in Toronto,
Mhm.
so greeting 2020. And yeah, the city is especially the city center was like packed at that time. And I believe the TTC was giving away like free rides for everybody like during that time, like from 12 to 6.
Oh
And
wow.
so it was a fortunate experience. I spent it with a friend. We're not friends anymore, but yeah, it was an experience that I remember with some fondness.
Oh nice. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I hope to also be, doing some fun stuff New Year's Eve. We'll see. Haven't decided quite yet.
So I wonder if the Dandelion Highway band, do they live close to you? Do you guys live close to each other?
Yeah, I think that they're in Toronto, I believe, or at least some of the band members are in Toronto, from what I remember.
So I'm sure it's much easier finding gigs in Toronto, but much busier, of course.
Yeah, here and there. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm mostly gig in Toronto. Next year I'm not going to gig as much in Toronto. I think in the past couple years I've just been trying to get as much time on stage as I possibly could, just to get that experience in. But yeah, now this year coming up, I'm feel like I'm ready, and hopefully we'll only be playing a couple times in Toronto. Yeah, and I'm booking into that right now, so that'll be fun.
So, what is your process of selecting gigs to perform?
Yeah, I kind of like if it doesn't feed my career or me financially, I just won't take the gig. um, so yeah, like it kind of depends because things like festivals, generally they pay well. Also they bring a crowd for you. It's not like you have to do too much promoting. Things like, doing a hard ticket show, which is like you sell your own tickets. That's a little tougher because you have to, bring your own people out and the people on the bill with you have to also promote that. So you're probably not going to be making as much money. But if you don't have a show that in the next couple months, like it might be a good thing to do. Yeah, but generally I don't try to book them too close together in the same city just because, you can only expect people to come out so many times in a couple of months to come see you live. So yeah, it really depends on the gig. Depends if it feeds me like, career wise or just personally, if it just feeds me as a person, and promotes that growth. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, what cities and towns are you hoping to perform other than Toronto?
I mean next year I would hope to maybe just kind of hit more of Ontario, like maybe down in Hamilton. Yeah, right now it's just Toronto, but I would hope to perform a couple shows in Hamilton, maybe Oakville, probably Halliburton, I'm sure. My hometown. Yeah, even like Ottawa would be kind of cool going out that way. Yeah. So just expanding more of Ontario is the hope.
So, I wonder in 2025, are you going to focus more of your efforts on recording music or doing live shows?
I would say for 2025, definitely recording music. Like I am planning a lot of new releases for the new year. In terms of shows, I'm thinking like it's more quality over quantity when it comes to shows right now. So less bookings, but I'm hoping to make them like, a much better show than I've ever done. Yeah, and recording, I'm trying to get as much music out there as possible. That is still quality, but just doing a lot of releases.
Tell me about the concert that you did following the Taylor Swift's visit to Toronto. What was it like?
Sorry, what show are you referring
I
to?
think it was last month, right? When Taylor Swift came to town and does her concert, and I believe you were doing a show either of the same day as her or some day before or after.
Yeah, yeah, I play in a Taylor Swift cover band as well.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of on the side though. Yeah, that's separate from my music.
Okay. I
Yeah.
suppose since Taylor is part of your name, so that is pretty apt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so why a Taylor Swift cover band?
Well, they pay well. And yeah, it's fun. I already know the music, so it's a good little side hustle.
Mhm. Yeah. I wonder, was the traffic really bad that day? Like, I imagine it must
Um,
be packed.
yeah, not as bad as you'd think. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was more just like the fact that it was rush hour on a Friday, than it was the concert, I think.
So leading up to the holidays, do you feel yourself more rush or more relaxed?
Um, in terms of like gift buying, I'm done that, which is nice. A load off my chest. In terms of my music, I'm definitely ramping up because I have a lot of goals that I want to hit for January. So I'm just like really pushing for the last numbers and getting things ready for January as well. Like I have all my goals lined up for the new year, and I'm just prepping to hit those like quarterly goals that I have. So yeah, it's coming to the end, and I'm like, okay, just trying to get everything done that I possibly can and be as prepared as I can for January.
So tell me about what's in store for January.
Yeah, mostly a lot of music. Um, and I'm planning a new live show as well. I have a friend of mine who's on board, and we're gonna, dig into it. I don't know if I can say too much right now because I'm still kind of exploring what I want. But that's something that will come in the new year as well. So new things in terms of live show, new things in terms of new music, and yeah, a lot more social media in the works. I'm getting on the content creation. And yeah, just doing all the things and staying patient.
Okay. Yeah, I know that I think for musicians, social media is kind of a necessity. You need to promote yourself. But for me, it is, the less time I spend on social media, the better, because it is, well, at best distracting and at worst, like, detrimental to my mental yourself.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely am on there more than I should be. But as soon as as soon as it starts to make me feel not good about myself or what I'm doing, that's when I put it down and I just, walk away for a little bit. As long as it's feeding me like creatively and I'm connecting with people and I'm maybe getting ideas from people in terms of content creation, then it's cool. But as soon as it starts to, negatively impact me in some way, I try to put it down and just, leave it alone for a little bit.
No, yeah. I think I can only go for like 5 minutes at a time before, something that, really upset me
Yeah.
encounters me. And then yeah, I think at that point, I have to, I have to decide whether to engage or to disengage. And
Mhm.
for the most part these days, I just choose to, yeah, disengage. It's not worth it.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I also have like a time limit on my phone, so I can't be on there for more than 45 minutes a day,
Mhm.
which even still kind of feels like a lot, but yeah. So I have a timer that tells me, hey, get off now. You're not allowed on here anymore. So that's helpful. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good tip. Yeah, I think I should try that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Evergreen song, and of course, I'm sure I've told you this, but another friend of mine, also a Canadian musician, released a song named
Oh,
Evergreen. It was like I believe it was like last month. But yeah, that or
yeah.
yeah, Madison, that's her name, and that was a lovely song too. But it's a striking coincidence that there are two songs from Evergreen that I have on my radar.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I wrote Evergreen last year, last Christmas. Of course, it was too late to, get in the studio, record it, and release it. So yeah, because it's really hard to. I thought it was a Christmas song, like, because it's something I've always wanted to do. Um, I'm gonna try that. So I started writing it. A lot changed. We got into the studio like probably, last summer, so it would be ready for this year. And yeah, it changed a lot. We rewrote the chorus. We changed some melody things, like more of like a joyful, happy thing. Because that's not typically go for, but one I was like, okay, I want to do something different. And do something I've never done before, which is usually what I try to do with every song. Just kind of went outside my comfort zone.
Okay. So, do you view Christmas music in general as happy songs or not so happy ones?
Yeah, I like both, honestly, because and of course, like it's a joyful season. You want to spend time with family and friends. But for some people, it might not be that way. Maybe they've gone through a loss, or maybe they don't talk to their family, or whatever it is. So honestly, I like both sides there, and I listen to both. I listen to happy Christmas music, and then more like melancholic Christmas music, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I recently was introduced to the song "Blue Christmas" by Elvis. The one,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
performed by Elvis, and yeah, that's a great song. And it's one
Mm-hmm.
of the rare, like, really, yeah, not so happy Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that you look forward to when it comes to the holiday season?
Definitely seeing my family and going back, up north to my hometown. Growing up there was a different experience. I wanted to move. I did not want to stay there because there's not really a lot to do up there, which is why people go there for, vacation and to relax. So now it's a place where I can go to do that and relax. And see my family as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also really looking forward to just like having some time off. Like I said before, I'm not really burnt out because I still am really passionate and driven to do things. But I'm tired. I'm very tired. I've been doing a lot, been working really hard, and yeah, I'm excited to just take a couple days and just not do anything and not have to think about goals or being super productive that day or just taking some time away because I think that also feeds the art as well. If I, you need to go live life to be able to write about it. So yeah, go do that for a little bit.
That's a wonderful idea. And of course, I wish you the best
Thank you.
in terms of spending time with your family and of course relaxing as well, because I think for someone who keeps herself busy, I think that can be a very tough thing to do.
Yeah, it's been a lot lately. I've taken on a lot this year, but I'm pushing through it, and yeah, I'm projecting break sometime soon, which will be nice.
So, tell me about to what extent have you learned not to, I suppose, view other musicians that either you know or within the same music scene as you as, competitors?
I don't know. We're all friends, and it's a small community, especially like just Toronto. Like everyone knows everyone. If you don't know them, then your friend music knows them. So like it's a really small community, and that's where the support is. That's where you're gonna find people who understand what you're going through. And like no one else would really get that. Yeah, I saw this cool post on Instagram about like the cringe mountain. It's like climbing the cringe mountain. It's like it's cringe until you get over it, and then it's like you're there and you're doing what you want to do, whatever that may be. But things like that, like musicians really understand. Like if you're posting things that may be out of your comfort zone a little bit, it's new for you, it may not look the greatest in all these things. Other people get that. So yeah, I think it's really important. If you isolate yourself, it's not going to be great for your mental health. I don't think it would be great for your art either. There are so many connections that I've made that have just gotten me gigs or that have led to another connection. So yeah, I think it's just a good thing to just be a nice person and stay connected.
So, outside of Ontario, what are some of the places well, in Canada or, anywhere that you would like to perform at?
Yeah, I mean, I apparently have an audience in Australia, um, because of a Netflix show that I was on. My song was on, not me. Yeah, so my song "The Moon" was on a Netflix show called Surviving Summer, which was based in Australia. And yeah, I have a lot of listeners over there now because of that. So I would love to go there someday. It's like literally the farthest place that it could possibly be from me, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I hope to do that someday.
Oh yeah. And yeah, congratulations on the song being featured on a film
Oh, thank
soundtrack.
you.
It's a lovely song.
Ah, thank you.
And of course, I'm somewhat envious of the Australians because they're experiencing summer this time of
Yes.
year.
That's true, eh? Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, the last time I visited Australia was like 8 years ago, and I remember having a really nice time there, especially when I visited Sydney.
Yeah, it kind of scares me, all of the different, insects and things that people tell you about in Australia and all the poisonous things. I don't know if it's as bad as it comes off on social media, or I don't know if that's just like a stereotype. That's a bit scary for me, but hopefully one day I'll be able to see it for myself.
Yeah, I suppose as long as you don't venture into the wild, then you'll be
Yeah.
fine. It's it's a wonderful country. So I believe I may have asked you this question the last time we met, but what are some of the songs or the song themes or topics that you would like to write?
That I would like to write in the future?
Yeah.
So many. That's a big question. I also think like I have written so much music in the past year that I am waiting to get into the studio to like actually bring that to life. Yeah, I have a lot of it in the works already. But even more so, like I could probably release like at least 2 or 3 EPs at this point. Of music that I like that actually turned out good. So yeah, I have a lot in the works. Lately, I haven't been writing as much just because I've been so busy. So yeah, like, and again, like you need to live life to write about it, right? So I haven't necessarily been living life. I've just been like head down, very focused. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just like taking some time, living life when it slows down a little bit, and then writing about whatever comes. So I guess my short answer is I have no plan really right now.
So of course, since you wrote a Christmas song, this is maybe a little bit of a personal question, but what are your tips for those who who are maybe spending the holidays, by themselves?
Yeah. I think find your people, like I'm a big believer of like family is not necessarily blood relation. If your family is your really close friends and those are the people who have your back, spend it with them if you can. I think like if they're truly like a good friend, then they'll be there for you during the holiday season. And yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have a very supportive family, and so I guess I've never really experienced that directly. But yeah, just staying positive. Focus on the people who really mean a lot to you. You know, doesn't necessarily have to be blood relation, but focus on the people who are really there for you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So to what extent have I guess your music taste changed since the first recording that you did, like the first time that you broke into music?
Yeah, so much. I mean, everything I listen to and consume on a daily basis definitely has an impact on my writing, like sonically, how a song turns out. But I think I'm getting more comfortable with being uncomfortable. So doing things I've never done before. I think it's really all about that, you know? Like there's no rules. You make your own rules. You break the rules. Like there's so many ways to go about making music. And I think like the more I do it, the broader that becomes. Like the possibilities kind of expand.
Yeah, I remember there was a time when I was a teenager where any music that I listen to is anything that's not popular. I mean I still try to find my own music like if there's anything that is overexposed on the radio or something that everyone's talking about, I'd rather not listen to it. But I think these days I remember I listened to one of the Chaperone song and I like it quite a bit. So, I suppose just because it's popular does not mean it's bad. So that's
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying. It's like yeah, I think that there's that, it's like one of those Venn diagrams. It's like the really cheesy pop music and then maybe like stuff that's not at all pop music and then there's that's really happy medium where it's like something super innovative but yet it's really like you get it, you know? You don't have to think too much. Hmm.
Do you have a dream artist that you would like to open for?
Hmm. I really like the band Dizzy. Though I don't know with the way my music's going, I don't know if that would be a good fit. Like, yeah, I don't know. Not right now.
Yeah. Hopefully Dandelion Highway is your dream opening artist because you're opening for them in the next few days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be super fun. They're super great, so I'm really happy to be on that bill.
So, assuming that you do think that your music helps people in some ways, what do you hope the songs that you write and perform will help people? Like how, how do you think they'll help people?
Yeah, I my ultimate goal with my music is to connect to people, hopefully allow them to connect with themselves a little closer as well. So, yeah, I hope that it does that. I hope that my live shows do that. Yeah, connection.
Um, in writing and performing these songs, do you know more about you as a person, as a self?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah. I think that like my personal growth and my professional growth as an artist, it's even weird to kind of say that because they're kind of the same thing to me, you know? Like the more developed I become as a human being, that's gonna show in my art and in my work. So, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, the your growth as a musician is synonymous with your growth as a person.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Yeah. So, what are some of the Christmases that you remember, when you were a kid, or even in the recent past that you are quite nostalgic about?
I got Taylor Swift tickets. I remember one year. And this, I still have pictures of it too. When I was doing Evergreen, when I was doing the artwork, I was actually looking for like maybe an old photo that could have been the artwork. I wasn't able to find a good one, but yeah, there's one photo of me like opening the box with the Taylor Swift tickets, and I remember almost crying. I was like trying to hold it back. I was so happy. So that's definitely one for the books for me. Yeah, usually I get something music related. Like, well, as a kid, I would get something music related. So, yeah,
Yeah. And how long ago was this?
that was probably, I must have been like 13 or 14.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty young.
Yeah. So just to put on the timeline, so what was the latest album that she was trying to promote at that time?
At that time, it was the Red Tour.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty far back.
Yeah, that's pretty far back. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like one of her, what's that, the third album I think she released, other
Okay.
than her first self-titled one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe yeah, that would yeah, I have like pretty bad memories of Taylor Swift because in 2014 when I was going through high school, her songs were everywhere. I
Oh
believe
yeah.
that was when she released her 1989 album, and
Mm,
there was these was it Shake It Off or Blank Space or whatnot, and I didn't find any appeal into them, and it didn't help that I think MTV was still a thing sort of back then, and they were playing that song forever, and it
yeah.
was the same way that I was turned off of Katy Perry too, because the year before, or at least in yeah, the year before, she had that Dark Horse song, and they were playing it over and over again. And I suppose I'm not a big fan of repetition, at least involuntary.
Yeah, I remember like I think it was when Reputation came out, I was like I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now I look back and I'm like that's a great album.
Yeah,
All of her albums I look back and I'm like that's a great album. Yeah, but at the time I think I was into 1989. I remember that one when that came out. I was into that one. Reputation not so much. Now I love it, but at the time yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that the Reputation album happened when I was first entering college. So also my first time in Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah, I I decided to give her another chance, so to speak. And I think I listened to some of her songs and I couldn't stand it, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think
That's fair.
they
Yeah.
struck me in a ways that I just I couldn't live down. It was like tasting something really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that song of hers, was it Look What You Make Me Do, right? That was
Mhm.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I listened to it once, and that was whenever Taylor Swift is mentioned, that's the sound that I think of. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not counted as a Swiftie.
That's okay. It's all
Yeah,
good. I won't be angry.
well, thank you very much. Yeah. So with that aside, of course, what's left is to wish you a wonderful Christmas, and I hope to see you next year when you release new and wonderful music.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Yeah, take care.
Okay, thanks.